So we're gonna watch We're gonna watch Flats here. He made some really weird mistakes I just want to point out, just so he can become a better player, right? It's gonna sound a little bit rough, because it always do when I try to help people for some reason. Pointing out all of the mistakes make me sound so... Oh, there is a lot of bot tricks here. Makes it sound a little bit hard. But yeah, the first thing... He actually sends it in time. I didn't think he did, but then it's not gonna be a mistake. I think we're actually gonna see it from his side of view as well. So we can see a little bit what he did here. He's losing one villager to the boar. It's not great. It's very much not great. But to be honest, at this level, if you do everything else good, it should not even matter. But he doesn't have a lot of food under his town center. Also, I would probably see you take this one instead, because you gather faster from this one. And this one decays a lot faster. Otherwise, I was thinking a little about, like, you already scouted everything here. Wouldn't it have made more sense to, like, drop your mill here, one palisade, and then, like, 2 more palisades here? You're already fully walled on this entire side. Hello, Flats. I didn't understand if he was gonna come or not, but I started to stream it anyways. You haven't missed that much. Yeah, he's doing a really good job with scouting. He even found the Mouflons here. Also, if you have permission, I would like if I can upload it to YouTube, because there is a lot of 1K players that wants me to review more 1K players. But yeah, the thing I would have done here is, even if you place the mill here, I would like just 2 palisades here. You're fully walled on the side. Like, you already spotted your gold behind her, right? So I mean, it's gonna be super easy for you to wall off here. Yeah, it's very nicely spotted. Now, I would say the only mistake you made now is just losing one villager to the boar. And as I said, it should not even matter at your elo. I mean, it's not a good thing, but like, it's easy to come back from. I fucking hate that the boars are doing this, because that happens to me as well. And then you go back here, and then it's just suddenly it's dead. I also turned off the vision here, because I want to see everything from your aspect. Say what I would have done. It's been doing it like forever, but it's been more and more noticeable the late time. Like, for example, here. You need to go forward here now. You said that you think that your enemy is doing a man-at-arms, but you need to know it. Like, you need to go forward here and see if he is going in with a man-at-arms or not. Because if you open up the archer and you start making militias, then you're just throwing everything you have out the window. You need to know that there is man-at-arms coming here now. And if there is, there should always be in your mind that, oh, I need to go archers. If you spot them here, then you say, oh, I need to go archers. Then you go for the gold, which is probably going to be this gold, because it's going to be a lot easier to defend. You could also go for this one, but then I would prefer that you make a tower here. Because otherwise you're going to make it here, the militias are going to push you away, then the enemy is going to do a tower here, and you're out of gold, and you have lost the mining camp. But like, just imagine you've made like 2 or 3 palisades here. You made these buildings over here. Then you're like basically fully walled. Then you only need to like do a couple of palisades here, and like 2 or 3 houses here. I mean, you would have been fully walled before your opponent even got to you.
Salve.
Just sending them to wood way late as well. On your way up, look now. Look at your eco now. What you need right now is that you need wood to drop archer range. But since you were too late for wood, you have no wood, so you cannot do anything now. The only thing you can do is queue up villagers, which is gonna make you nothing. On your way up, you always, remember this word, always, send 8 villagers to wood. No matter what. Then when you get to 2.5k, then you can start mixing with it. Like every player that you see, as soon as you hit the feudal age button, not when you're going up to it, as soon as you hit it, you take people off food and then you send them to wood. 8 of them. Or important to remember. And this is the thing I don't understand why you did this, because you see men at arms here. Why are you queuing up your own militias? That doesn't make any sense in my head. Because, like, you're ahead of him. The only thing you need to do right now is basically just drop archer range here. And then you don't have to repair this one because it's not worth repairing it either. You collect 25 food a lot faster than you repair up a fully house. And you're still gonna lose 12 wood on it. It's always more efficient to wall behind it. Look at your eco now, and you're gonna understand why. You're somehow 200 food behind, but I think that it's because you lost your villager, right? In order to deal with the man-at-arms here, you need, because you had no army before you saw them, you need to have 3 militias. That is going to be like almost 300 resources. You're going to need a man-at-arms. So you're already 450 resources behind. The thing you could do instead is just make an archer range, make 1 archer. And then they cannot do anything, because they're not going to stand there and take damage. Then it's just going to run away. Then you lose 240 resources instead of 450 resources. And the only thing, like you're already working towards archers anyways, as this civ, right? It doesn't make any sense to make this many units to already defend this one when you can just go into a better category of units. And that is kind of a little bit what I meant, because if you just used like a couple of houses, palisades here, these buildings over here, then you're fully walled, because you're walled everywhere. Then you make like 2 free archers, and then you can just focus on going out to Castle Age. Then you're gonna be 500,000 miles ahead. Also, I don't quite understand why you're going for this. You could have went for it if you went for the tower that I mentioned earlier, or like something defensive, because this is like archers here, you push off gold. You don't have archers, so you can never defend this one. And you probably know in the back of your head that after militias or man-at-arms come skirmishers or archers. So you if I saw this gold, I'm gonna like, no, either I tower it and I defend it with my life, or I'm just going for this one that is 100% safe. Like, even if you have archers here, they're not gonna reach here. You could also have side walled here to make it even more safe, but that is just a little bit of critic. So if you would just have done those things, you would have been so much ahead of him right now. Then you had like 1, maybe 2 archers out now. You're gonna pull this one back. And you can actually start going forward. Because then you're fully walled, so then you don't need your archers as home anymore. Then, because they cannot get in if you're fully walled, right? And here you have to use like 25 extra wood and building time. But you would never needed that one if you just made this one here instead. Here you see what I mean. You're instantly push off gold. So now you have idle time here as well. This fight is very bad. because man at arms is way stronger than a militia here. So that's a little bit what I mean there. You're wasting like 300 resources and you can still not clear out the pressure because you went for the wrong unit. Instead you can have 2 archers, you push them back, and you have like both archers that you can upgrade with fletching. That is a pretty good unit, right? Because militias and men-at-arms they are used to make damage. They are not used to defend with. So he's using them as they are supposed to, like pushing buildings, harassing the enemies, making your villagers return back from resources. But like you can never defend with this one, because if he has got archer behind this one, you can never take the fight anyways. So this is the thing I don't quite understand. Why you're making this unit in the first place. Because you had such a good start. It's a little bit rough to see you lose this one. Because it doesn't really make... like you should have been so much more ahead here. You should be like easy 300 resources above this guy now. Like now you have tons of idle time here. You have only 2 farms. You're floating 1k of wood. You're pushed off gold, exactly like I said you were gonna be. And he made so much damage with this one. Like he made you repair the houses here with 2 villagers for a solid like 2 minutes. That is going to be like 90 resources behind. Just do the math. 90 resources behind, right? You invested 4 militias and you still haven't cleared out the pressure. So there is 350 more. Now we're up to 450 something, right? Then you have tons of idle time here, which is going to be like 300 resources. I'm not even sure why we're like 600 resources now, right? You pushed off gold and tons of idle time with that one as well. And you haven't even started adding farms, which is the most important thing to do in a feudal age. So easy here, I would say, like you're 1k resource behind before the game is basically even started. And that is, he did it with 3 militias. And now you see what I'm saying. Tower. Because it's on a hill, right? It's gonna push you off the gold. It's a smart move to go here, but I would have seen you do this one straight away. Let's do the mining camp here. Have 1 tile gap, and then you have 4 villagers in this gold mine. So instead of being like 400 or 500 resources in front, you're so much behind because you're not like taking the right decisions, I would say. Like 5 militias here. This is a Dark Age unit. These have almost the same stats as villagers. So I would say, even though you killed like 2 militias there, one was almost out of health and one was like 50% or something. It's not worth it. Because these guys are useless. Even if you upgrade these guys now, they are kind of useless because he's gonna go on archers, right? So like you keep making the wrong unit, and that is what I don't understand this game. I mean, you've been coached, you said, like you're... It should be... I'm not sure, like writing a note or something. Like, my opponent starts with this one, my initial reaction is to do this one. I can understand the walling, because that is like... But the only thing you need to think about when you are playing the Dark Age is making villagers. Hello, penguin. Yeah, that is true, but he should never have made them in the first place. That was my point. So they are not useless if you're gonna pressure, but are useless to defend with. If you understand what I mean. Because if he went for like 2 archers at the start, as I said, he would have pushed behind the man-at-arms. The opponent is gonna go into archers. By the time you see these archers, you're gonna easily have like 8 archers yourself. Probably even with fletching, right? So even though he has like 5 archers with men at arms, 8 archers is gonna win it. Because more archers equals more damage, right? So then you have 8 archers and you can pull him back and you can go aggressive because you're fully walled.
Eus.
While your opponent is also fully walled, by the way, but like then you can go and harass the wood lines because he has no safe wood lines here. So that is kind of the reason behind it. So it's not a bad unit. I'm not saying it's a bad unit, but it's a bad unit for this circumstance. And because we didn't go into archers, we went into militias that made no sense. We just lost another 5 militias here, and we basically made, just do the math, we basically made 8 militias to kill 3 men at arms. And then we cannot afford anything else. While he made massive amount of damage with the men at arms, and then he can just go into archer because, oh, I see militias, I just make archers and I know that they kill them. So that is the reason why getting in here now, is because like we don't have any counters. We are making skirmishers 20 minutes in the game. And I mean, you're gonna need at least 3 of these guys before they are even, like, you don't even have fletching here. And also you went for the upgrade when you only had like 1 man at arms. And this is kind of GG here. I'm not saying it's bad played, that is not my point. I don't want to be sounding rude. But you made a very weird decision. And since you have been coached, I'm just wondering, like, how do you remember what they say to you? Because this doesn't make any sense in my head. I recommend, if you're getting coached and stuff, that like write down a note or something. Like what should I do when I see this one? Because there is like 3 openings, right? Yeah, that is kind of rip wheels. Because there is like 3 openings that you can go for. Maybe 4 if you like stretch it a little bit on Arabia. Just have a note right next to you when you sit here. Like take a normal like note, just write. And then if you see it, you just look at the note. Okay, men at arms, archers. And then you can like wrote like fully walled, go forward with archers. Because that is normally what you do, right? When you cannot get pressured yourself, then you need to turn up and like pressure these places. Because here you're still making man at arms. You made like 12 man at arms or something, and he made like 3 man at arms just to do a little bit of a push at the start. But these units are not doing anything now. Work meeting. Say hello to everybody from me, my friend. Good luck with your work. Yeah, we're gonna stream a little bit more. I think we're gonna play some ourselves. Try out the multi-streamer a little bit. And the reason, by the way, we cannot click up here is because we went too late with the farms. So you need to have the farms earlier. I think you know that. Just that you got very pressured there. You didn't really know what to do, right? Nah, you're welcome. I just wanted to like... Because I didn't know if you knew it. Or if you... or if it was new to you. But it's... I know exactly how it is when you're so frustrated. You don't know like why the fuck am I not winning the game. So I just wanted to share the aspect why you might be losing the game, if you understand what I mean. Because in my eyes, it looks very, very obvious. But I also played like 5,000 games, so... I've been in this exact same situation. And then I think it was like Arcos or something that wrote to me like, why are you doing this? Because it's not a good tactic. And I'm like, what? It's what everybody else is doing. And then I realized that no, it's not. Yeah, but if you're going for man at arms, you're going way too late. Watch this game from your enemy's perspective. I also don't understand why you're going man at arms into cavalry here. Would be making more sense to go man at arms. Then you force your enemy to go into archers, and then you go for archers yourself. Why would you go man-at-arms into cavalry? I don't really quite understand that one. Because like your man-at-arms are a very good cavalry, like melee unit. I would rather see you go for man-at-arms. I'm not sure. What was it? There is also a thing. You always need to know the logic behind doing something. Like I can tell everybody that's just in this small circumstances, then you go for stable, right? But that is not gonna apply to every single game. That is why it is very important to explain that you go for stable because now you're seeing skirms, for example. I mean, it kind of depends on. If you have the pressuring, then I would rather see you keep up the pressure with archers or something, because then they can just wall off and you cannot do anything with your scouts or cavalry, your men-at-arms or cavalry. And then they go into archers and then you're kind of pushed off a little bit. It's much more harder if they do like they're doing here. Like you fight with men-at-arms and suddenly you see 5 archers, and then you cannot defend with your men-at-arms or whatever you're doing, exactly like it's here. And then you get pushed in here, you lose a couple of villagers, you lose even more, you get more and more panicky. I do agree that it's easier to play knights though. Or cavalry in general, because you just send them forward and they do their thing, right? But then you need to understand that is the logic behind it. But if you would go for man-at-arms, you should really take out this guy, because he was hitting your buildings with upgraded man-at-arms before you even started making militias. The thing when you go for man-at-arms or militias is that you need to be here early, making damage. Otherwise, you're just stuck with this situation that you need to defend with your own man-at-arms, which are not really intended for. And then you risk having archers in your base.